I'm going to come right out and say it, that there is no such thing as a sex drive. Everything that you've been taught from movies and magazines and media is not how sexual desire actually works in the real world. We are taught that sexual desire is supposed to be spontaneous, that it hits you like hunger or thirst. Like you're just walking through Target and you see your partner come around the aisle looking hot and suddenly you're like, yes, take me in the dressing room. And we're told that healthy couples have sex 3 times a week and wanting sex all the time is normal and how we are supposed to be. Like if we are not fantasizing about our partner or feeling that spark out of nowhere, something is wrong with you. But I'm about to pull back the curtain for you on what the science says about how sexual desire really works. And again, there is no such thing as a sex drive. So my name's Hannah, by the way. I'm also known as the Libido Fairy, and I have helped hundreds of women feel more sexual desire. And what I'm about to teach you is a major unlock for so many of them, like it was for me when I first learned it. So in this video, I'm going to break down why sex drive doesn't exist, share how sexual desire actually works, and how you can feel more sexual desire if that is something that you want to experience. So here's why. There is no such thing as a sex drive. A drive is something that you have to do to live. So with hunger, if you don't eat, your body will perish. If you do not drink water, you will die. If you do not sleep, you will die. Those are all drives. But sex is not required for survival. You do not need an orgasm to stay alive. So sex doesn't operate like a drive in the biological sense. So if that's the case, then why do we feel urges to have sex? What compels us to feel desire? And the answer is reward. So just like any other behavior, if we are rewarded when we do something, we are likely to do it again. If we are punished or not rewarded, or the reward isn't enough, we are less likely to do it again. So desire for sex is based on these rewards and a bunch of other contextual factors around sex, like how you feel, the relationship you're in, your emotional state, your trauma history, hormones, stress levels, and your environment. Now, I'm about to break down the 2 types of sexual desire and how sexual desire really works. But if you are liking the videos already, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more intimacy and relationship education. Okay, so if you have ever wondered why you don't want sex and believed that something might be wrong with you, the number one thing that I want you to take away from this video is that the way that you've been taught to think about sex and desire is broken, not you. So many of my clients, high-achieving, caring, growth-oriented women in very loving long-term relationships, come to me feeling like they've lost their desire. And underneath that, they're feeling guilt and shame and confusion. And they say things like, oh my gosh, I used to want it all the time at the beginning and now I never do. I love my partner. Why don't I want sex anymore? Is there something wrong with me? Because I like sex when it's happening, but then I never want it. And my answer is no. There is not something wrong with you. You just need to learn how desire actually works for your body, because there are 2 main types of desire, spontaneous and responsive. Spontaneous desire for sex happens in anticipation of pleasure. So it's the kind you're used to seeing in movies where suddenly you feel an urge and you anticipate that you're going to experience the reward from sex that you've had in the past. The other type of desire is responsive. So this type of desire happens in response to pleasure. So after pleasurable and arousing stimulation happens, then you feel like you want to have sex. So this could be reading an erotic story, cuddling, touch that feels really good, a deep conversation, etc. So over 85% of women predominantly experience responsive desire. You could be mixed, that's also normal. So if you have feelings of wanting to have sex only after you start having sex, congratulations, you have responsive desire and it's totally normal. And here's the research to back it up. So Bazan's sexual response cycle, it's a framework that accurately reflects what happens for most women during sex. So it starts like this: sexual neutrality. So you're not thinking about sex, you're just doing life, laundry, work, dishes, scrolling Instagram or TikTok. Sex is nowhere on your mind. And then there's a willingness to be receptive. So you're not necessarily turned on, but you're open to the idea. Maybe your partner initiates, maybe you're cuddling, and you're just like not totally opposed. Then enter sexual stimuli. Something pleasurable starts. A kiss or a sensual touch, a flirty comment, and then there's some arousal. Your body starts to respond. You feel a little heat, a little sensation. There's more stimuli and then more arousal. And then all of a sudden, now that your body's engaged, your brain goes, oh, I want to have sex. Then, and this is key, there is emotional and physical satisfaction. So you feel connected, you feel satisfied, you actually enjoyed that, and then you return to neutral and the cycle ends until next time. So that is a sexual response that is driven by pleasure, not pressure, not performance, not I should be in the mood, just an actual slow build that works with your body instead of trying to force it. So if you feel like you're stuck in sexual neutrality and you want to experience more sexual desire, you need to create the context for it. You need to create a space where you're open and you're willing. So that could mean prioritizing more rest, building more emotional connection in your relationship, engaging in more sensual touch that doesn't have any pressure to go anywhere, or adding more turn-ons and flirtation into your relationship. So you could start asking yourself, what helps you feel relaxed? What helps you feel connected? What helps you feel open to sex? Or you could take my free turn-on type quiz that's linked in the description box below, and that's going to give you a list of things that will turn you on that you could try. So the last major note on this that I mentioned is at the beginning of this video is how important reward is to sexual desire. So you absolutely need to feel rewarded by the sex that you're having if you want to be incentivized to do it more. So if you're not satisfied with the sex you're having, you will not want it, period. Sexual satisfaction is the #1 predictor of sexual desire. And that is why I made an entire video on how you can make sex more satisfying for yourself if you're a woman. And you can check it out right here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.